Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time hopping on with me, hi, my name is Brie Ogletree. I'm an online fitness coach for women, teaching women how to use strength training in order to get leaner, get stronger, and feel completely badass in their bodies. And today I'm talking to beginner lifters. So I'm going to be giving you the top 3 tips, things that I would focus on, things that I would recommend if you're just getting started with strength training in order to really up your game in the gym and get the most out of your workouts. Tip number 1 would be to focus on form over everything. So if you're new to strength training, it's really important to build a solid foundation when it comes to movement. The better of a foundation that you create when you first get started strength training, the stronger you're going to be able to get in the future. I don't see this very often an issue with females. Most women that I work with are very susceptible to, making sure their form is correct and not picking weights that are maybe too much for them to begin with and really focusing on form. But it can be an issue. So I really want to just make sure, if you are just getting started with strength training, to really hone in on form first over everything and to build a solid foundation when it comes to strength training. When I say solid foundation, I mean proper movement mechanics for the basic lifts. So your squats, your deadlifts, your upper body pull exercises, upper body push exercises, like your pull-ups, your bench press, or any push or pull type upper body moves. These are your compound lifts that you are going to be primarily using when you strength train. And it's just really important to groove those movement patterns so that you are creating the right movement patterns and you're not overcompensating and, using improper form in order to do a certain exercise. And just the sooner you drill those proper mechanics and that proper form, the better it's going to be in the long run in terms of you getting stronger, getting leaner, performing better in the gym, and just, getting the most out of your strength training sessions that you could possibly get out of them. So if you've never squatted before or if you never deadlifted before, a suggestion would be maybe to just focus on not even lifting the weights, but focus on the actual movement mechanics of the squat and the deadlift. And there's definitely ways you can do this. When I work with my clients, I usually program in their warm-up or their mobility routine. We are doing those movements. So we're doing a squatting pattern, we're doing a deadlift pattern, so a hip hinge pattern in the warm-ups, definitely. If I feel that the client is not exactly ready to add a whole ton of weight or load the exercise, and working on form is maybe more beneficial to them, then I'll do that. So you can definitely work it into your mobility routine before you start lifting or before you start with actually picking up weights. That'll kind of help groove the movement patterns that you need, and you can really focus on the form of the exercise without loading the pattern first or without, manipulating weights, external weights right away. But if you feel like, your form might be a little bit off, then maybe just forgoing the weights altogether and just starting with a body weight workout, just to groove the movement pattern and just to get your body used to those movement mechanics and get a solid foundation for your strength training. If you're just getting started with strength training and you don't really focus on form and you're just trying to, lift as much weight as possible or get as many reps in as possible, or, rush through the exercises or get in as much volume as possible, this could end up hurting you in the long run because your body's not really building the proper mechanics so that your muscles can work together to build the most strength that is possible for you, or get the most out of the exercise, whether that's, you're just trying to get leaner or build muscle. Honestly, it could lead to injury if you do continue to practice in proper form. And it's just not an ideal situation when, we don't have proper form. So proper form is always number 1 when it comes to strength training. Whether you're a beginner or you're an advanced lifter, there should be a heavy focus on proper form before anything else, before lifting heavier weights or before even picking up the weights if you're just a beginner. So in my personal training sessions, the way I work this in is definitely through their mobility routine. So with any workout that you do with me, whether it's online or in person, there's always some type of mobility piece, and it really grooves the movement patterns that you're going to need in whatever workout you're doing. So squatting, hinging, just warming up certain muscle groups and getting the blood flowing and the proper movement mechanics before we actually go to load the movement patterns in your workouts. For some clients, I might not even load the movement patterns right away, like the squats or the deadlifts, just so that we can build that solid foundation and get that proper movement mechanic right first, before loading heavy weights onto the movement. Number 2 for beginner lifters would be to focus on compound exercises. Compound exercises are exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once. These are exercises like squats, deadlifts, upper body push exercises like a push-up or bench press, upper body pull exercises like pull-ups, or any type of row variation. So bent over row, seated cable row, stuff like that. So focusing on those exercises, you're gonna hit multiple muscle groups, you're gonna hit all major muscle groups, especially if you're doing a full body strength training workout that includes all of these types of exercises in addition to some core exercise. If we think about how much gym time we actually have to devote to training, most people have anywhere from 2 to 4 days to train. So it might be the most beneficial for you to do full body strength training workouts, in which case you're focusing on squat patterns, hinge patterns, upper body push, upper body pull, and core type exercises every time you go to the gym, just to get the most out of the time that you do have. So that's always my recommendation to most of the people that I work with, because that's most of the time, that's the amount of time that they have to devote to the gym. So if we are focusing on those compound exercises, then we are not only becoming better movers, we're becoming stronger. So our activities of daily life become so much easier, like carrying groceries, carrying laundry, carrying kids. So it makes sense to train this way because we're just more fit for life in general, but it also maximizes the time that you have in the gym. If we were to work on, just body parts like buys and tries, or chest and back and chest, or I don't even know what the splits are anymore. Chest and tries, back and buys, legs, like if we were to split up our days like this, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with training this way, but when you only have 2 to 4 days per week to strength train or to work out, it's probably not the most ideal way to train, and it's probably not enough stimulus for your body to make any changes. We want to make sure that we're hitting all major muscle groups at least 2 times in a week in order to see some progress and see some changes. So if you're not comfortable with these compound exercises, squats, deadlifts, hinge type patterns, upper body push, upper body pull, you're not sure how to use the free weights or the cable machines to do these exercises, I would definitely recommend just at least consulting with a personal trainer. Most personal trainers in the gym are more than willing to give you at least a couple pointers if you just ask them. So we are there, at the end of the day to help you guys out. So if you do have like a quick question, most trainers are more than willing to help you out in terms of, form and figuring out if your form is correct, or if you're doing an exercise correct, or how to use a piece of equipment. I was working as a fitness manager and as a fitness specialist in my former jobs. I was more than willing to help people if they didn't understand like how to use a certain piece of equipment, or wanted to do a certain exercise but wasn't sure if they were doing it correctly, or how to use a certain piece of equipment. I was more than willing to help with help making sure that they were doing it safely and correctly. So I know there's a ton of other trainers out there that are more than willing to help you out. Most trainers get into this industry to help you. So just asking a question real quick in terms of how to use a piece of equipment, how to do a certain exercise, just making sure you're doing it safely and correctly. Most people, most trainers, most professionals are more than willing to help you out. If you did want to take your strength training to a new level, or you wanted a higher level of guidance, I would also recommend getting a coach. Having a coach, having somebody's eyes on you when you're exercising is a great way to, expedite the process and just help you become a better lifter faster. I have done it alone. I went probably 10 years without getting like an actual strength training coach or having somebody coach me. And the gains that I made when I did have a coach versus, the 10 years that I spent without a coach is like ridiculous. I made so much more progress because I had somebody guiding me and helping me and coaching me through the process, through proper form, and just making sure, like, just giving me pointers on how to be better. So coaching, I will always recommend coaching if you are looking to take your training to the next level. The last tip for today for beginner lifters is to just keep going. Usually when you just get started with strength training, the first like week or two, you might actually experience some significant like strength gains. And what this really is your body, so your nervous system is just making those connections in order to use your muscle groups more efficiently, and it manifests as you getting stronger, right? So that's exciting as a beginning lifter. So you're definitely going to see some gains when you first get started, but just recognize that this is a process and it takes time. And strength training is a lifelong pursuit. So there is no like, you know, you get to a certain point and you stop strength training. No, strength training is, you know, a lifelong thing, a lifelong commitment. And it's just really important to try and enjoy the process. Enjoying the process of getting better, getting stronger, and just recognizing that there's always something to improve. Even myself, with about, you know, probably almost 15 years of lifting experience at this time, there's still stuff that I need to work on. There's always something that I can tweak, or that I can modify, or that I can, you know, do better. And I'm always looking for those things as well when I'm training. I'm always critiquing myself, and I have gotten guidance in the past. I don't currently have a coach, but I have gotten coaches in the past that have helped me really improve my form when it comes to lifting. And focusing on enjoying the process of getting better, getting stronger, is what makes it more enjoyable. So are you a beginner lifter? And if you are, did you find this video helpful? If you did, please let me know in the comments, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this about lifting, specifically lifting for beginners. I'm trying to help you guys out in terms of like getting started with strength training, or even if you're an intermediate lifter or you've been lifting for a while, let me know what types of topics that you want me to cover in terms of strength training and lifting weights. That is pretty much, you know, my expertise. That's what I focus on with my clients. Strength training, lifting weights, getting stronger, getting leaner, and feeling amazing in their bodies. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos just like this. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.